Hello everyone, this is Miss Jo and we're going to make a vase using the Loft tool. So go ahead and start a new OnShape document and just call it my vase and it'll open up your first little planes. And so basically this is just going to be the same process over and over again. You're going to make a sketch on your top plane, and I'm going to go ahead and start with a center point circle. I'm going to go ahead and look at my top and make a circle. It looks great. And I'm going to go ahead and check that off. I'm going to put it back in the isometric view. So the next thing you have to do is you're going to make a plane that is offset or like above this top plane. So you're going to look right here for the plane tool. You can like click down, maybe it's not set, but it should default to the plane tool. And when you do that, you're not going to see a green check mark until you tell it which plane you want to offset your plane from. So choose the top plane, and then here you can decide like what distance you want. I'm just going to make mine 1 inch above the top plane, and then I'm going to make a new sketch, and this new sketch is going to be on plane 1, and you can choose any shape. I'm just going to choose another center point circle. I'm going to look in my top view and I'm going to make another circle, and this one I kind of want my vase to go like a little out before it goes in. So I'm going to make a circle that's bigger than that. Click on the check mark. And if I look at this, you'll see that I have my 2 circles. So now is when we can use the Loft tool. So the Loft tool is right here. And what it does is it will connect any 2 shapes. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And I'm going to first select my first circle and then my second circle, and you can see that it connects those 2 shapes. So that's the bottom part of my vase. And so now I'm going to make another plane, and I want my plane to be above plane 2, and I'm just going to do another inch and then go ahead and press the check mark. And so this time I'm going to make a sketch, but now it's going to be on plane 2. I'm going to go ahead and choose my inscribed polygon, and I look at the top view. And I'm just going to make a polygon, make it smaller, and you can change the number. I'm going to go ahead and make mine a hexagon with 6 sides, and then you press the check mark. Go back to the isometric view. Oops, not that one. Now I'm going to go ahead and loft. You might think, oh, well, those aren't the same shape. How is it going to loft? But OnShape will loft them the best that they can. So it looks like that. I'm going to press the check mark. Okay, so at this point, you can throw in some fillet tool if you want to have like a curved side. So you want to be sure that you are selecting the circle, and I'm going to fillet mine 0.25. It makes like a nice little rounded edge right there. So that's the beginning of my vase. Okay, so then again, I'm going to create another plane, and it's going to be 1 inch above my second plane. And I'm going to go ahead and this time make a sketch on that plane. I'm going to go back with the center point circle, and this time I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. It's going to be like the top of my vase. I'm going to press a check mark and then put it back in my isometric view. And so then I want to use the Loft tool again and go ahead and click your two surfaces that you want to loft together. It's kind of looking like a pencil. Now, if you don't like the way that it looks, you can always go to like the sketch that you made, like let's say I go to sketch 4 and I can change the diameter of that. So let's change it to 3, so it's really big. And then I press the check mark, and the loft will remain within there. Kind of like the way that looks a little bit better. And so I'm going to go ahead and give it 1 more layer. So I'm going to go ahead and choose a new plane, but I want this, I think 1 inch is fine. And then remember, you have to select which plane you want it above and press the check mark. I'm going to do my last shape as a center point square or a rectangle, and I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. And you can be really specific with your sizes if you want it like to be definitely 1.5 by 1.5. You could do that. Press the check mark and go ahead and look at the isometric view, and we'll click the Loft tool again, and we'll click that shape and that shape. And notice, because it was like from a polygon, a hexagon to a square, it does the best that it can in determining how you want those 2 things to be lofted together. Okay, that looks better. Okay, so the last thing you need to do is shell it out. Of course, you can fillet any of your surfaces, but you want to make sure that the whole surface is selected, because that's just going to fillet. Oh, that looks good. So it's nice and round. So then you're going to press the shell, and then you're going to shell out the top face, and then that will shell out the entire shape. And so you might want to make it a little bit smaller, like 0.05, to make it a little bit thin. And if I look at the top, you'll see that it's actually hollow throughout the whole thing. It looks interesting to me. I kind of like it. So then, as always, you always want to create an engineering drawing of your creations. And so you're going to come down here and you're going to say create a drawing, press OK. And then the first, you're going to select your part. I only have one part, and it's going to bring it in over here in the right view, and then click once, bring it over, and it will show the side view, and then bring it here, it'll show the top view, and then here, and it'll show the isometric view. So you have your isometric and then your 3 orthographic projections. So that looks great. But yeah, that's how you use the loft shape. And there's several different ways to make a vase. So we'll learn how to make one with the rotation tool next, but this is how you can do it with the loft tool. And now you know how to use the loft tool. Okay, so have fun.